Hello world, Zeph here. You want to know a funny joke that will leave your friends laughing? VHS tape collections in 2026. Really, no laughter? Damn. Don't get me wrong, I used to have a lot of VHS tapes, but I shrunk down my collection over the year or so. Mainly because of due to space and basically most of those tapes were something I'm not really interested in collecting or keeping. So grab a snack or not, because this video is going to be short as hell, while I look through my VHS collection and show you what memories I made during these movies or not. First up are the Disney tapes. Basically, they're, these kind of tapes that are in plastic instead of cardboard. So, first up, it's the first Disney feature film ever, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, or just simply Snow White to people who don't like to use the word dwarves or the word seven. Nothing much to say about this movie. I honestly only seen this a couple times, not as much as other Disney movies, but it's a really spectacle to behold. I mean, this shit was phenomenal in 1937. Heck, that's probably around 90 years by the time you're watching this. Let's look at the tape right here. Whoa, some of these tapes, I don't know what it is. These plastic tape covers are a bit snappy. And let's look at the tape itself. It's an ink. It's a white ink with the logo, home video. The G rating, it's NTSC standard. And you have your FBI warning right over here. The Walt Disney Company. They've had lots of ups and downs. And some of these VHS tape collectors like to print out the print date. Yeah, I'm not gonna talk about the print date because A, it's stupid, and B, why the hell would I say the print date? It's just boring stuff. And here's the I'm sorry, my brain's all messed up. Don't worry, the next clip will be better. So Snow White, better than the new one. From the least talked about Disney movie that I liked to the most liked movie or watched movie in my collection, Pinocchio. This is not really my childhood copy, because that was thrown away. I got this from a friend, and well, basically he was a brother-in-law. He was giving me these tapes, like with Snow White and such. So I decided, well, the hell not. And this is basically the Disney movie that kind of got me interested in Disney films. But I did watch Toy Story before this, so I'm not the most enamored with all these old Disney films. Yep, that's the ink label. All I can say is this version's better. The newer version by Disney is a stinker. At least Guillermo del Toro knows it. He made a better version. Yeah, the iconic Mickey with red robe and a blue pointy hat. Fantasia. Yeah, or Fantasia. I don't know. It's just pronounced as Fantasia. I mean, I haven't I only watched this a couple of times, like how I watched Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs a couple of times. This 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 is not a traditional Disney movie. It's just like a sketched up combined shorts with musical classic music put in, and it really shines. I mean, it wasn't as memorable as Pinocchio, but it has some moments like the Sorcerer's Apprentice and that scene with the devil or Chernobog. You know, I'm gonna say it like here, like Doug Walker calls it. It's the fucking devil. Spoiler: my childhood wasn't ruined by this movie. My childhood was already ruined. It's Bambi. Yep. That innocent deer movie with a traumatic death scene that left a lot of kids in the 40s scarred for life. And probably made them into vegetarians or vegans, I don't know. And this is the... Yeah, I honestly I never watched this movie a lot. Basically, I don't really have much memories watching older Disney movies before the 80s. Not much. And this is when they used to have sticker labels instead of ink labels. Yeah, this is pretty cool. And yeah, and some of these tapes are heavy. Like the materials that these tapes use were a bit more expensive than the usual tapes. And that's why they cost more back in the day. Like around 80 bucks. Oh god, 80 bucks. That's like a new game in this day and age. But it kind of was very profitable. Dumbo. It's now a slur to say it. This is a really okay movie. I saw a couple of times. Not that much like Bambi or Pinocchio. I seen Bambi barely. I only watched it a couple of times, maybe even once. But Dumbo, yeah, I only seen it like 2 times. Yeah, that's how much I'm not really interested in Disney movies. Yeah, they're basically, yeah, let's put this movie while the adults have adult conversations and activities in the bedroom. You know what I'm talking about. This is basically something to distract the kids while the adults do stuff. Like pay taxes or get groceries or worst case scenario, sex. Yeah, and those crows are a bit racially insensitive, but I'm not angry about it. It's just alright. It's nothing really harmless. Oh yeah, sticker label. Yep. It's during that time again. Wow, what a wild ride. Yeah, Walt Disney's Alice in Wonderland. Yeah, I mostly have the essential Disney films, not the package deals like Ichabod and Mr. Toad or other stuff like Fun and Fancy Free or stuff. It's just basically the basic by the numbers Disney films. This was an adaptation of a Lewis Carroll book I don't have. A bit more darker than, well, the book is darker. Disney version, not so much. It's basically Disney version. You know what you're gonna get. It's an odd movie, basically a bit shorter than usual. Yeah, it's an ink label, of course. They started doing those ink labels around the time of, probably around early 90s or so. Yep, Peter Pan. He has the top billing. Wendy doesn't. I mean, the original book was called Peter Pan and Wendy, but the later Disney movie actually rectified it. The remake, of course, but I never watched that version because I didn't care about Disney Plus. And oh boy, I'm gonna get into watch for this, but it's an alright movie. I've seen it more times than the last movie, Alice in Wonderland. Yeah, it's basically a simplified adaptation of Peter Pan. A more kid-friendly version of Peter Pan. Yeah, pirates, mermaids, and bullshit like that. Yeah, basically you get the run-of-the-mill adventure story where Peter Pan abducts some kids from London, takes them to Neverland, possibly under conspicuous play, but I'm not gonna say much. And this tape, oh yeah, I don't know who had the idea to put it that way, but yeah, it is. Yep, Peter Pan. Oh, and Tinkerbell. Yep, that ignited a lot of people who were fascinated with fairies. Yeah, I watched this a couple of times. 101 Dalmatians. Yeah, it's an alright movie. It started the Xerox animation method, done in the 60s and 70s, and possibly well into the 80s. Yeah, this is one of those last movies that Disney worked on. Yeah, I mean, I've seen the remake back from the 90s. It was alright. I've seen it a couple of times, but this movie, yeah, I prefer this version over that 90s movie. But the 90s movie did have a couple of charms. It was produced by John Hughes. Probably written by John Hughes, of course, but it was a good movie. And Glenn Close actually did a perfectly good job as Cruella de Vil. I can give her that. So basically, it's a really fun movie from the 60s. Fun, family fun. Yep, The Jungle Book. Yep. One of many adaptations of the classic book. It's actually an alright movie. I've seen it a couple of times, not fully, but I didn't really get the grasp of what the plot was. So basically, Mowgli is a human kid who wound up lost in the jungle and raised by a panther and a bear. They can't get along. They really can't get along, and they're trying to get him back to the village before a tiger fucking eats him. Spoilers: the tiger doesn't fucking eat the kid. I mean, the kid's stupid, but hey. Ink label, of course. I mean, this is an alright movie. I would give it as a watch it just for the heck of it. But if you read the book a bit more, you would understand more darker elements than it already is. So, yeah, The Butler did it. Aristocats. Yeah, this is basically a forgettable movie about cats who were given a fortune, and the butler wants to get rid of them because of shit like that. And it's a bit of an odd thing, and I never really got into this movie. I've seen a couple of clips, and that was it. And one of the clips was basically the end scene. Yeah. It's I mean, it was a harmless movie that was made after Disney's death and such. Yep, the movie that made mostly everyone furry. Yep, Robin Hood. The furrized version of Robin Hood. Robin Hood has been mainly adapted a lot, basically by Kevin Costner and specifically Mel Brooks. This is a simply standard G-rated version of Robin Hood. Basically, it's an alright movie. It does have its good moments. I mean, the Sheriff Nottingham wasn't as memorable as King John. I mean, seriously, this king is a sorry excuse for a king. Yeah, but the Kevin Costner version of the Sheriff Nottingham was better. I mean, that's Hans Gruber, of course. Yep, I can tell that she's going to get eaten by crocodiles. Or is that alligators? I don't know. They're rescuers. Yeah, it's basically a movie that I barely seen. I have actually never seen this movie. I have never seen this movie, but I know its existence. I love the topless woman scene. Yeah, probably not in this version, but hey, who are you gonna trust? Me or some random YouTuber? It's the ink label. Alright. Basically, this is a collection of Winnie the Pooh shorts. Basically, a collection of Winnie the Pooh shorts. It's just charmless and sweet. It brought everything that we know and loved about the Disney version of Winnie the Pooh and condensed it. Like it was a late 70s release. I mean, it gave us the iconic looks of the characters and the voices and such. Yep, Christopher Robin is pissed, and he's rolling in his grave. Spoilers, they were never friends of the book. Fox and the Hound, or the Fox and the Hound, I don't know. It's basically a movie that was made in the 80s. I thought it was made in the 70s, but turns out it was made in the 80s, early 80s, and it was an alright movie. It basically was an adaptation of a dark book about a fox's survival throughout the modern world as it changes from a forest into a town. Yeah, and it's really dark and depressing. But this one, you still get some depressing moments, but it's alright. Okay, they're clearly spoiling the end game with the Big Ben and the villain. Yeah, he's gonna die by the sound of the clock. Yep. The Great Mouse Detective. It's an alright movie, but the villain, Radigan, was as memorable. Played by the late Vincent Price. Oh boy, that was a really good performance. Yeah, people often skip over the Black Cauldron. I don't have the Black Cauldron because I'm not really interested in Black Cauldron. Oh yeah, and they're spoiling the ending in the back. I mean, geez, are people... Disney doesn't want you to watch this movie and enjoy it in peace? Seriously, who is in charge with making these VHS covers for Disney movies? I want to know who did it, and so I can get the peace of my mind about the... Oh God. Sorry, I went into a rant. Ink label, of course. Alright, movie. I can't really... Oh yeah, I do see the shaft of the tip. Oh yeah. Probably they have a hard-on for Ariel. I don't know. I mean, she's practically naked in this movie. Mostly naked. Except for that shell bra. I don't know. Little Mermaid. I mean, this is Disney's attempt on making another musical, of course. I mean, they've done many musicals over the years. And this is basically when they decided to lock in and make a good movie. And this is actually a really good movie. I mean, it was so good, I actually have it on Blu-ray. Yeah, no doubt. I do have it on Blu-ray. It's that good. Yep, it's a really good movie. It does hit home. And yeah, it's that ink label, and that's horizontal instead of vertical. I don't know. So... this version's better than the new one. I gotta say, it's better than the new one. Fun fact, this movie used CG made by the people at Pixar. They made a system called CAPS, and they made it. And this movie flopped in theaters because they didn't know what to think, because the audience didn't know what to think of it. Oh yeah, it was I mean, it's a sequel to The Rescuers. I mean, basically, The Rescuers in Australia. And none of the characters, and some of the only characters, have Australian accents. Not the boy or the man trying to hunt them down. Yeah. This is basically a non-movie. I never was able to watch this. I only watched a couple of minutes of it. I never got into it. Basically, I gotta start watching these movies. I don't know, probably on a service or something, or buy the DVD or Blu-ray version of these movies. Because, my God, I barely watched any Disney movie. This is the ink label, etc. Yeah, Dark Book turned into a happy, fun time musical, Beauty and the Beast. Yeah, it was an alright movie. Alright. I mean, I've watched it more times than The Little Mermaid, of course. It was that good. Yeah, it was all even was nominated for an Academy Award. Yeah, nominated for an Academy Award that never was won. I mean, seriously, what the I mean, it lost to Silence of the Lambs. Silence of the fucking Lambs. Yep, Buffalo Bill got the people at the Oscars bent over. Another better version of a movie that was made recently, Aladdin. Yeah, this is the better version. Rest in peace, Robin Williams. I've watched this movie a couple of times, a bit less than Beauty and the Beast, but this one is actually better. And honestly, I know this movie because I've seen the TV series before this movie. Yeah, it was on Toon Disney or the Disney Channel, but I know about its existence and such. It's a really fun movie. Really great acting from Robin Williams. So, alright, I used to have the Return of Jafar, but I got rid of that tape. The Lion King. Yep, everybody's favorite. I wouldn't mind. I mean, at least it's better than the 2019 version of the movie with the same name. Yeah, it's basically an animated version of Hamlet. Yep. And I do know these because I saw the TV show Timon and Pumbaa before this movie. Yeah. Yeah, basically, just like Aladdin, I saw a TV show before the actual movie. It was alright. They said this was the animated version of Dances with Wolves. It wasn't. I'm very disappointed. Would not recommend. Pocahontas. It's an alright movie. It's not as memorable as The Lion King. I mean, Jesus, it was alright. I mean, it came out 1 year before my birthday, so birth year, so it was alright. I mean, honestly, the actual story is that Pocahontas was a bit younger in the actual story, and she died while in captivity. Oh boy, that was a terrible look. I mean, Disney. You made the truth so not bleak. Would it be a lie to say that this was my first movie that I ever saw? What? No? You don't believe it? Well, fuck you then. This is actually my favorite animated movie. No, seriously. I mean, the first movie that you actually saw on tape is going to be your favorite. Something that actually has some emotional bond because you saw it as a kid, meaning, or as a baby, meaning that you're going to relate to this movie. Yeah, Toy Story. It was one of the first CG animated films at the time, 1995, 1 year before I was born. Yeah, this was or basically a couple of months before I was born. This was released probably in November of 1995 in theaters. And I don't know what it came out probably around March or April of 1996. Or was it summer of 1996 or whatnot? I mean, the CGI was a bit rudimentary. It could use touch-ups here and there, but it was a really good movie. 10 out of 10. Would recommend again. One of the more darker Disney movies to ever be released. 1996. Yep, my birth year. The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Yeah, it has those gargoyles as something fun, while the actual villain is lusting for a for a gypsy. Yeah. Yeah, this is an adaptation of a story about cucking and religious persecution and whatnot, and it's an alright movie, but it does have a lot of dark moments and such. This is a more darker version movies of Disney's heyday. And it was still rated a G. Let me see if there's a G rating here. Ah, a G rating. Seriously. I mean, if this movie were to be released today, it would be probably a PG-13 or R-rated movie. I don't know. Hunchback of Notre Dame. Probably won't be remade. Yeah, this was during the phase of Disney saying, hey, our movies are not for chicks. We swear. Hercules, or Heracles, if you want to know the actual character. It's a bit more the sanitized version of the Hercules legend. Yeah, it's basically, he was the son of a god who got descended upon the earth, and he always became completely mortal, except he wasn't killed, but he has some of that strength. So he used it, and he was made fun of it because he was too strong. I mean, and then he learned that his father was Zeus, and basically he has to become a legend. Yep, yep. Hercules. It's an alright movie. I mean, Danny DeVito as Phil. Oh yeah, that was really good movie. Good move. Oh yeah, Hades, voiced by James Woods. Who would have thought? Tarzan. I mean, Disney released George of the Jungle a couple of years before this movie, but hey, at least it's animated though. Yeah, it's basically a sanitized version of the Tarzan story, made by I think it was by Edgar Rice Burroughs, some sort of like that. I don't know. This is a very iconic movie with the Phil Collins music and such. It was really cool. It was really cool with the CGI, and it was very memorable back in the day. Late 90s. This was peak Disney, in my opinion. And this was my first knowing to a sequel with the word 2 in it. And I realized, what's with the 2? And then it's like, oh, it's a sequel. Damn. Like Wayne's World 2 or, what else? Batman Returns or shit like that. I don't know. I mean, it was a good movie. This is you have characters, we have two fingers pointing out, yeah, it's a second movie, you freaking dingus. Yeah, it's a really, really good movie. Yeah, at least somewhat better than the first movie. But I prefer the first one because it's as memorable as... Because the first movie is memorable. This one, it's like a continuation of the movie, not just some rehashed plot. Yeah, like how the initial version was going to be a direct-to-video sequel, but when Pixar found out about the production of this movie, they decided, no, this has to be a better version. So they rushed their asses off to make this version. And what do we get? You want to know a joke? I have never seen E.T. the Extraterrestrial in full. Why? Because I don't know. I really was not really interested in this movie, but I saw a trailer on the Grinch VHS back in the day, and it kind of was interesting, but I never actually watched the movie. I mean, it's a Steven Spielberg movie. You, by law, have to watch this movie. I mean, I never watched the movie. Or even its 2002 version. God. Maybe this is the better version because it still has the shotguns instead of the walkie-talkies. I have the Blu-ray, and I haven't seen that version yet. I don't know if that version has the shotguns or to replace with walkie-talkies, but I don't know. I do not know. A Batman movie that was released in theaters and it's animated. What? Yep, Batman: Mask of the Phantasm was a theatrical adaptation of the TV series based on the same name. Yeah, Batman the Animated Series. It was a really good series, in my opinion. I've seen a couple episodes and such. It was it had the darker look of the Tim Burton movie, but it's a bit more sanitized than because it was TV and such. Like, we got a good version of Joker, played by Mark Hamill. Rest in... I'm not going to say it. Not going to say it. He's not dead yet. Don't say it. So, yeah, stink label. Alright, one last tape and this video is done. But I have more tapes, so comment down below if you want to see more tapes. If not, I won't make another one. So this is Gundam Wing, Endless Waltz. This is the theatrical version, or the unedited version of it. The movie, I mean, I've seen it on Crunchyroll back in the years, but I actually have it yet. I probably need to get the Blu-ray version of Endless Waltz, and possibly the DVD Blu-ray version of Gundam Wing for any of that matter. But those Blu-ray really are expensive and really hard to track down. Don't worry, I will get to all these slipcover VHS tapes next video, depending on if this video actually makes it really good in the algorithm. So say something in the comment section below and see if you want to say something, if you want to see another VHS tape collection video like this. Until then, Zeph out.